Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to the Madhouse. This is Heike and you're watching Stone Cold Coffee Crafts, and this is the WIP Chat I recorded last week Wednesday. I don't know why I even still try to record them talking while I'm working on the diamond painting, because every time I try something happens that completely throws this plan out of the window, so why waste the time? But yeah, that's what voiceovers are for, aren't they? I think I actually prefer the voiceovers anyway, because working and talking doesn't seem to be my biggest strength. So maybe I should just quit trying. Who knows? Well, welcome back. It's been a while. This was again not planned. I don't know what is going on with 2021 that I keep having these unplanned breaks in between videos. Every single time when I think, yay, I am back on track, things are going, things are great, for whatever reason, something happens. And actually, for the first 3 days last week, nothing much happened except the fact that I was completely overtired and unable to sleep, and basically poured all the energy I could muster every day into work and then had nothing left for after work. Nothing much happened. And then on Thursday, I had to take my little furry assistant to the vet because I noticed in one of my recent videos that her teeth actually looked really bad. Poor Lola has always had issues with her teeth. I think the first time she had to have a tooth, well, it broke. It wasn't exactly pulled. The vet decided against pulling the root afterwards as well. You might have noticed that she only has only has two of her four fangs. That's basically because when she was, I think, 3.5, she broke the first one, and we still don't know how it happened, but she must have done something, because one day she was just sitting here and doing strange things with her tongue and looking very unhappy, and suddenly I saw that her tooth was wiggling around weirdly, and it broke just slightly within her gum, so the root was still in there. Went to the vet and he said, okay, pulling that root out, we are not going to do that unless she develops an infection or something like that. Otherwise, this is just not necessary in the end. So that's when she lost the first one. And then the second one, which was her upper one, started to show signs of not being healthy. It turned dark, and again went to the vet, and they pretty much told us, well, that thing is basically dead. We should pull it. And yeah, while doing that, they also cleaned the rest of her teeth, and I think they did pull another one back then too. And they told me she really has bad teeth, and that it's nothing that we did wrong, because we are very careful with what we feed them. Well, except for the treats. I mean, treats are chocolate. Not literally cat chocolate. Like, it's not a healthy thing, but the cats love it, so they get it a few times a day. Um, so they said it's basically something that can happen with a cat. I think it is also something that particularly often happens with purebred cats. It's just the way things are. So poor kitty has issues with her teeth, and it was only a matter of time before it happened again. So that was now. I had to take her in, and the doctor just told me they pulled 3 of her molars, basically. I mean, cats don't actually have real molars like we do. They are sharp and pointy and things, but they had to pull out 3 of them, and then they also pulled a couple of very small teeth all the way back in her mouth. But as far as I understood the doctor, those are pretty useless. So yeah, that first I mixed up the timeline here a bit. So I went last week Thursday, and they had a look. They drew blood to do a blood test because she hasn't had one, and she is very close to her 13th birthday, which makes her, she doesn't want to hear that, and I don't want to hear that, but it does make her a grandma. So they wanted to have blood work done and stuff. So she was a very unhappy camper. And last week, Thursday, they actually told me, well, due to what was going on in the world since last year, March, they had a lot of backlog, a long waiting list for any kind of dental stuff, because for the longest time they only, even at the vet, only did the most necessary things, and pretty much pushed everything else off. But they decided that the one tooth actually looked so bad that it had to hurt her. And surprisingly, I got an appointment for today. So what happened in the appointment today, I already told you. Let's give a little bit of an explanation why this meant that I didn't upload any video for nearly 2 weeks. Because I am an anxious freak when it comes to my cats. I'm a helicopter cat mom, basically. I don't know if I've spoken about it before. I usually don't have issues with an anxiety. I have exactly one anxiety. And in the past, I might have said that I have a travel anxiety, which is not exactly the problem. When I'm traveling, I'm actually fine. Um, my anxiety is more the being away from the cats thing, which is kind of strange. I'm not anxious about being away from the boyfriend. I'm not anxious about being away from family. I'm literally anxious about being away from the cats, because every time I have to go on a trip, I right away go down this crazy rabbit hole of something is going to happen. You are not going to be there. You're going to come home and your cat will be gone. And yeah, make it make sense. But that's just how it is. So you can probably imagine, if I know that my nearly 13-year-old cat has to be put under to have dental stuff done, I spiral, and I did spiral hard. I think for a few days I actually managed to keep it all to myself, but poor Jessie and Rachel have suffered in the last few days, um, because every time they talked to me, all I was talking about was how afraid and sick and whatnot I was because of today. And I have been a bundle of nerves all day today. I have picked her up 2 hours ago, and that's basically when I started to calm down. Right now it's 5 p.m. and I'm no longer feeling sick. I felt sick all day. I've not eaten much because sick. and and I think the best sign that things are getting better is that I'm slowly but surely starting to feel hunger. Um, all day I felt like throwing up. And yeah, you might think that makes me the crazy cat lady. I will wear this badge with so much honor. Proud to be the crazy cat lady. But right now she had some tuna, so she was not allowed to have anything to eat for at least an hour. I waited until I finished work, which was like 30 minutes ago, and I gave her a portion of tuna. And I think I heard her um, eat it, but I'm not allowed to see it. Usually she is not one of the cats who just won't eat if anyone is watching her, but right now I think she is the grumpiest of them all. She looks very grumpy, rumpled, unhappy, cranky. I will kill you if you get too close to me, hooman. I mean, she's so mad with me. I can understand it, but yeah, it had to be done. I mean, it's not fun. It's really not fun. And then slowly but surely spiraling out of control for a whole week also is not really helping. Yeah, so I'm glad I have very understanding friends. I have a very understanding, if kind of amused boyfriend. So yeah, they suffered quite a bit, but I hope everything is all right now. So she's still pretty affected by whatever they gave her to put her under. I would prefer if they did it using gas, but I think they don't, and that always takes longer to wear off. She is really she's going 3 times the way she usually has to, because for every step forward she takes one to the left and to the right as well. It is hilarious to watch, but it's also very, very sad, my poor cat. And she's not having it right now. When I talk to her, she basically throws daggers at me. So let's see how long that will take. Usually she is kind of forgiving, so I hope she will be back to normal in a couple of days. At least we won't have to go back for anything unless something happens, which I sure don't hope. The sad thing is Lola is the easy one. And she threw such a fuss this morning when she saw the box. She cried bloody murder. So every time I have to take her to the vet, it gets harder and harder, and she's still the easy one. Her sister, oof, oof, she will kill you. She has the means to do it, and she will do it. So I'm crazy glad that it's actually not Nelly, because that would make everything so much harder. But at the same time, I wish it was neither of them. Well, that was about 11 minutes of cat talk, just to say, okay, we had a bit of a hiccup here, but right now she is fine. Let's hope it stays that way. She is now a nearly toothless grandma, but you know what? They are out now. They can't hurt anymore. So if that's what it takes, I will buy her all the tuna I can. And also they still, even if they don't have teeth, they still eat kibbles because cats don't chew anyway, so it's okay. It's okay. I'm just glad that she's back home, that she is trying to kill me with her eyes, and that's a sign for me that she is feeling better than she currently looks. So yeah, that's that. The thing I should have led with when I started this WIP Chat probably is what I am working on. I'm doing good today. I'm doing really good. But I think I explained why, so you probably won't criticize me, right? Please don't. Yeah. So the painting I'm working on here is Off to Neverland by Mandy Manzano. It's a Diamond Art Club kit. It is, as you might have guessed, because I have put up the picture right at the beginning on the left, it is a Peter Pan based painting she did. It is currently my oldest licensed diamond painting kit in my stash. I bought it all the way back in 2018, and I am doing it for my diamond painting theme of the month of July, which is your oldest kit or WIP. So if you haven't joined in yet but would be interested to pull out your oldest WIP or your oldest kit in your stash that you haven't started yet, and start working on it, and join in with the fun. I think this painting, because it's very rainbowy, at least on the side I'm currently working on, I think that would fit the challenge that Rachel and Mrs. Coffee are doing right now. And of course, I've forgotten what they called it, because me and names is just hopeless. So I'm going to maybe put it on the screen if I can remember. But they are having a Pride-related rainbow challenge right now, so I think this painting would actually fit in there. So maybe I should enter it. Yeah. Also talking about Diamond Paint-alongs challenge thingies. Yesterday, the announcement dropped that we will have another round of drills and chills this year, and I'm really looking forward to it. Um, I love drills and chills, so I'm glad that we will have. I think it's year 3, isn't it? Very glad we do. Um, I have a couple of Halloween-themed licensed paintings, so yay! I'm sorry. I should yawn at you, but I'm really, really tired. I'm just not sleeping right now. It is crazy. Well, I shouldn't say that. I did sleep last night. For whatever reason, after days and days and days, the night before I had to take Lola to the vet was the one I managed to sleep for probably a solid 6 hours. Let me check. I usually document stuff like that. Oh, nearly 7. Wow, this has to be the most sleep I've gotten in a long time. Yep, it's literally the most sleep I've had since June 30th. God. Yeah, that's my life right now. So I'm only feeling half dead today. The problem is, there's so little I can actually talk about because nothing really is happening. It's all work related and it's boring and it's just driving me nuts, but it's nothing I can talk about or would want to talk about because it's really effing boring. So what are we going to talk about then? I have literally no idea, but I wanted to upload something today just to say everything is all right. I know I've been completely gone again for I think 13 days, isn't it? So yeah, I know. Bad me. It's probably never going to stop that being that way because I'm weird. I like routine and then I can't keep it up, so that's me in a nutshell. Yeah, other than that, Dad is doing good. Thank you all for all your well wishes. We are currently waiting for some appointments. He still has to have the colonoscopy. Um, I did say that right this time, didn't I? And even without stumbling. I also like to call it a camera goes where it's not supposed to go in the back of my brain. Still waiting for that. They couldn't do it in the hospital because of the inflammation. The risk was too high, but they asked him if he wanted to come back to the hospital or do it with a more local specialist, and he is going with the specialist because he's had one of these things done before by the same guy, and it actually worked out great. So we are waiting for an appointment. Basically, I think he has an appointment um, for the talk you have to have before about the risks and stuff. So I think that is already set up, but we are waiting for the actual appointment when it's going to happen. And yeah, then we have to see if something is going on that's not supposed to, or if it was really just a hiccup related to the hard stuff that happened before, because according to the boyfriend, this is actually possible that it was related, and that's why it happened in such a short order. Um, and that's what I'm currently hoping for, to be honest. Um, this whole everything is going really crappy right now, and everyone is sick and going to the hospital stuff really needs to end. I've had so much of that in the last 12 months. It's just enough now, at least in my opinion. Now even the cat has to have surgery. It's no, no, I'm done. I'm with Lola. I'm done. That's it. Please no more. Um, all this health stuff just drives me crazy. I'm literally from day to day now waiting for more bad news, and this is just not a way to live your life. Know what I mean? Philosophical today, or fatalistic. I leave that up to you to decide. Anyway, yeah, life right now has been a lot of work and not much else. I even didn't do a lot of crafting. I finally buckled down and did a little bit more last weekend because I just needed to take my mind off things. So this painting you're seeing right now, when I was working on it in the video, I think I was on section 3 of 14 or something like that. Um, it is now at least halfway finished, so that means it's 7 of 14 done. Well, math, you did that probably on your own. I didn't need to explain that. I'm on today. I'm on. Yeah, so I'm halfway done now. I might work on it a little more today, but I basically told myself I don't need to rush it. I had planned to also work on my oldest WIP when this is done, but I basically scrapped that in my mind now, and I'm not pushing for it because right now I think crafting is more of a quality of life thing than a challenge thing. I use my crafting usually as a way to challenge myself with something fun to get the most I can get done. Mostly also because I have no impulse control and buy so much stuff that I need to justify it somehow by at least finishing stuff too. So yeah, this is halfway done now. I'm pretty positive because today is the 14th. That means we are not even halfway through the month. That I should be able to finish this very smoothly without any pressure or anything by the end of the month. I also caught up on my cross stitching. I put in the last stitches in my Owl Forest Alice in Wonderland part 6 yesterday, which means I am 3 days ahead or something like that. The part 7 is going to drop on Friday, and tomorrow is going to be Animal Crossing, so I guess we are starting again. Um, and I also picked up my knitting. Surprisingly, I finally picked back up my Breath and Hope shawl, so I am going to try and record this second on another crafty note video because I wanted to do this last week. I wanted to do it the week before. It somehow never happened. So, yeah, I was talking about that right there. Isn't that the perfect timing? I was showing you that I had finished my earrings for the necklace I had done and shown in that first video. So I finished the earrings. I think I have now figured out what I want to do for the bracelet because I've still enough beads left. I'm searching for the second earring, by the way. I still have enough of the beads left to do the bracelet I was talking about to make this a full set. But I will need to buy some chain for that because I currently don't have any jewelry grade jewelry blingy stuff you wear on your neck and face and stuff. Um, Great chains in my stash. Back in the day when I used to work with beads, it was mostly bead weaving and I did bag fobs. So for your handbag, and for those I used chain that you can get in the DIY store, like the hardware store. So not for crafting, more like for harder jobs. They have very fine chains there, but I don't know if they are safe to wear on your skin. Probably if you're not allergic, but I wouldn't be able to tell what's in there. I don't have any metal allergies, but I don't want to provoke them either. So, and I think I have now worked out how I want to do that. I was thinking about whether I wanted to do it like as these little components like the necklace was, or if I wanted to do charms and have a charm bracelet, because that's a type of bracelet I actually don't own, but I have always loved. So maybe a good start to have one of those to use these beads. Well, that sentence was mangled. Yeah. So I think I'm going to go with the charm bracelet idea. So I need to buy some chains, and I have to go through all my things, but I think I have a huge stash of lobster clasps to turn all this into little charms if I want to. I'm still thinking about if I want the charms to be removable or if I'm going to attach them like charms, but I'm going to attach them forever and ever until someone cuts the wire. Oh yeah, cold coffee in my unicorn mark. That was the day I posted my unicorn mark on Instagram. I actually posted that before I filmed this WIP Chat. So just to demonstrate, I think that was like 2 hours later that the coffee was still there. Hence my channel name if you're new here. That's why I call myself Stone Cold Coffee Crafts. Every time I make myself a cup of coffee, I can be sure that I will drink at least half of it stone cold. That is something that is never going to change. It's been like this. Oh, when did I start drinking coffee? I started late. I've never been a big coffee drinker, unlike my parents who would drink a whole um what's the word? It's not mug. I can't find it in my brain. When you make coffee with a drip brew, that glass thing, they would drink a whole thing of that before work, which is like my parents worked very early shifts, or in case of my father, he worked both early and mid shift, switching each week, and for a very short time he also worked night shift, but that was only like I think 4 months, 4 or 5 months. Um, so when they started in the morning, my dad would get up at 4:20, and I think my mom got up around 5. Drinking that much coffee that early in the day is inconceivable for me. I can't drink any coffee before probably 9, maybe 10 a.m. Otherwise, my stomach will crawl out of my body and stab me in the throat. It's just not going to happen. I also have to milk it down quite heavily. So the coffee you saw there, that this is the least amount of milk I can stomach. Usually it's more, just to make it gentler on myself. So I'm not a huge coffee drinker. It's between 0 and 2 mugs a day, and usually I forget that it's there, and that's when it turns cold, and it's been like that forever. I think I started drinking coffee when I started working, so around age 20, which makes it 20 years ago, because this old woman is going to turn 40 next month. Jeez. If you tell my brain that next month I celebrate my 40th birthday, my brain is going to tell you that you're crazy and you need to get therapy. The body, on the other hand, probably would agree. I think it would agree. The mind, though. So yeah, 40. I can't believe it. Really, really can't believe it. I got my part of my birthday present yesterday. So my family, and I mean both my not quite in-laws and my parents with that, have been complaining for the last few years that I don't really have birthday wishes, which is true. It is basically down to my lack of impulse control. I am currently in the situation, if I want something, unless it's super expensive. We're talking stuff like want something up to a threshold of 100, maybe €150. I think that's where I pull the plug and actually think long and hard about if I want to purchase it or not. I am currently in the happy situation that I am able to afford stuff like that without thinking about it too much. So usually when I see something and I want it, I will just get it. Makes it a bit hard when people come and ask you what you want for your birthday, because you have pretty much everything that you want, and the stuff that is still on the list to buy is usually so expensive that it's not a valid um, present idea, at least not in my books. I don't do giant birthday or Christmas presents. It's just something that I don't do, never have done. Um, there have been some bigger presents, but usually, like for example, I gave the boyfriend a couple of years ago for Christmas, I gave him the PlayStation 4 because I knew he wanted it. Um, Probably doesn't sound so strange for you guys in the US with the great Black Friday deals and stuff you can get, but we don't have that here in Germany, so prices stay pretty stable. Um, sometimes you will get a special offer, but it's nothing like 40-50% off. It's usually like you get it for 30 euros less than it's normally, which in case of the PlayStation is not even 10%, I think. So I decided, because I knew he wanted it, that I would give it to him, but I made it a Christmas/birthday present from me and my mom. So basically, this was like a 400 euro present from me and my mom for two occasions, because the boyfriend's birthday is in February. That is close enough to Christmas that if I wanted to give him something big, I combine the two. Because he's like me. He doesn't have a lot of wishes, and if he wishes for something, it's usually something very expensive. Yeah. And I don't like to give out wishes like that within my family. I know that in his family, big expensive stuff sometimes happens. I don't get it because it always makes it feel like it is some kind of competition, who makes the most expensive Christmas gift or birthday gift. So I usually don't like to participate. I tend to fall back in these cases to giving something handmade. For example, last year I gave my mother-in-law a stitched piece, which she absolutely loved, but it didn't cost me a lot of money. It cost me a lot of time. So I usually value presents like that more. That's how my parents raised me. But yeah, long story long, um, I don't like to ask for big things, but they have been nagging me for, I think, 3 years now. And I told them, okay, here's the deal. The last few years when you guys gave me money for anything, like actually gave it to me in bills, I'm very bad if you give me money on my bank account, because that money will vanish. But if you actually give me um, physical money for something, I usually drop it in a box and it stays there and I don't touch it. Usually people, I think, are the other way around. If they have money, they are very, at least here in Germany, we are not very credit card and digital money heavy yet. But I think most people, if they had the money, it would be gone quicker than what they have in their bank account. I'm the other way around, and I had collected quite a bit over the last few years. So I told everyone, you know what, give me whatever amount you want. I have collected all the stuff. I'm going to buy myself something I've been wanting for years. Apple just came out with the new iPad Pro. I have been thinking about getting an iPad for, I think, the last 3 to 4 years, ever since my Android device started to fail me. It is now a glorified ebook reader because you can literally do nothing else on it without killing the thing, freezing it for minutes. So I decided, okay, I'm going to pull the plug. I'm going to put everything you gave me in the last few years that I have saved up, everything you give me this year, and for my 40th birthday, I'm going to get myself a new iPad Pro. I'm going to get myself this stupid expensive pencil, and I'm going to get myself this even more stupid expensive Magic keyboard. And I did that. I Pressing on this buy now button, it hurt. It physically hurt. Even though I knew that all of this money was given to me. Well, part of it I have to pay for out of my own pocket, because even with saving up for multiple years, this is a lot of money, Apple. So yeah, keyboard and pen arrived yesterday and the iPad was shipped today, so it should be here tomorrow, and I'm super excited because if you remember my crafty resolution video, I wanted to do some drawing. I'm not good at drawing. I'm kind of good at coloring, but I'm not good at drawing, but I wanted to get into it, but I wanted to do it digital. And I thought I could do it with a cheap Wacom device actually, but I never got it to work with my Mac. and I lost patience with it pretty quickly. So I'm trying again. I'm trying again. I have a Skillshare account. I'm pretty sure that Skillshare can teach me how to use Procreate on iPad. And let's see what I can come up with. Probably horrible, wonky drawings. But it's supposed to be for fun. It's supposed to be something that I can actually do on my couch when I cuddle with the kitty. Because I'm a table crafter. I craft everything at my table and do nothing on the couch. Every time I see your pictures of your setups, how you diamond paint on the couch, or you stitch on the couch, or you knit on the couch, I can't do anything of it. Even the knitting doesn't work for me on the couch. So I know I can read on a tablet on the couch, so I hope I can do some drawing. Let's see how that works out. Yeah, I got that a little early because there was some kind of thing going on where I got a little bit of a discount on it. So it's really a little bit of a discount. But you take what you get with something that costs that much money, don't you? So that's why I ordered it now instead of waiting until August. And I'm kind of excited because finally a working tablet. Maybe I can reset the Android device and see if I can somehow get it to work well enough that I can actually use it for Pattern Keeper. That would be awesome. But I'm not counting on it. That tablet is old. It is really old. And it's the one reason I buy Apple devices is because Android always fails me. Maybe if I got something in the price range of a Galaxy Tab or a Galaxy phone, um, that wouldn't be the way, but I've not always had this type of money, so I had to go with cheaper Android devices and they burned me forever. I just hate it. So I am now an Apple snot. Snob. Snob. I'm not snot. I'm a snob. If your brain runs on no sleep and nearly no sugar, that's what's going on. Well, at least I'm not trying to talk in French. That would be horrible. I used to be able to, but it's been such a long time. Yeah, so that's all that has gone on in the last couple of weeks. I got some new beads today, so maybe I will do some beading tonight to have something more to show for Friday's video if that happens. Oh, please, I didn't jinx myself. Please, I didn't jinx myself. Um, Once this is done, I am going to film FlossTube for tomorrow. I should still be able to squeeze that in. So by the time this has been uploaded, it's probably already my tomorrow because YouTube is horribly slow with videos that are a little bit longer, and we are close to the 40-minute mark. But yeah, I'm going to try and basically catch up with myself. I won't be able to, of course, because I missed like what is it, 7 uploads. But I'm going to try and post videos over the weekend too. I usually don't do that, but I'm going to make an exception now. So plan is that we are going to have a floss tube tomorrow, that we are going to have on another crafty note for maybe let's post that on Sunday, just that we don't have unboxing and final review back to back twice. Yeah, let's post the on another note on a crafty note on Sunday and um, do the unboxing on Friday and the final review on Saturday. How does that sound? So that's my big giant goal from today to Sunday. Let's see how I do. Ooh, my stomach is growling. I really haven't eaten much today. So probably a good sign, but it's also still at least 2 hours before the boyfriend comes home. And I shouldn't eat anything now. Uh, yeah. That was probably not very interesting for you. Yeah, so that's the plan. Let's see how much of it I can actually done. I will try my best. And on that note, I'm going to cut this a little bit short. I have about 10 more minutes of footage diamond painting, but I really don't know what to talk about. My brain is a bit fried. Probably not the best idea to film FlossTube right now, but I'm quite sure that I won't have time to do it tomorrow, so let's better do it today while the iron is still hot. All right. Thank you for your patience with me. Please don't worry, Lola is fine. I am not going to show any photo of her how she looks today because she looks really, really bad. If you have a pet and have ever had to put it under and let it have surgery, you know how rumpled and cranky and drugged up they look afterwards. So that's her today. Not very majestic. So we are not going to put that out there. I hope I can keep to my plans, and if I can, please come back tomorrow for FlossTube, and I will show you what I accomplished in the first half of July with my stitching, because at least there I'm still caught up with everything. Have a wonderful day, have a wonderful night, and hopefully until tomorrow. Bye bye.